Tony Gonzalez at third base, Jason Castro the catcher, and Jake Marisnick in spacious left field.
And on the mound for the Texas Rangers, it is 29-year-old left-hander Derek Holland, a guy who has gotten off to a nice start on the season, 1-0 with a good ERA. That whip right near the 1 mark, and the left-hander's not handling him at all in 3 starts against the Astros last season. Despite the Rangers' mastery over the Astros, he was 0-1, and the Astros swung the bats very well against him, no doubt aided by Jose Altuve and his great numbers against the lefties.
For Holland, a chance to go out for the 3rd time this season, and you saw those numbers indicating that he has thrown the ball well in his first 2 starts. His slider has been particularly effective, and he's been keeping it down so far this season. He's had very good run support, not only when he's pitched at home throughout his career, but when he's pitched against the Astros in his career. Jose Altuve gets it going. 314, 4 homers, 8 runs batted in. For the first 13 games, the American League Co-Player of the Week, along with Mark Trumbo. And of course, as you know, Tyler White was the American League Player of the Week the first week of the season. So it's quite a start for those 2 Houston Astros. Altuve is 4th in total bases in the AL right now, and he looks at a high one for ball 1.
Yeah, Brownie, you would think that the Astros would turn that record around to 8-5 with a couple of guys getting off to such good starts.
Yeah, they've had those excellent hitters, and then they've had some guys on the other end of the spectrum as well, looking for a little bit better output, but they are 2nd in total bases in the American League. That comes in for a strike, and it's 1-1. Clint Fagan is the home plate umpire. It's 75 degrees at game time.
Umpire Altuve did not like that call.
He jumped back from it. Now that one comes in for a strike, and it's 1-2 for Holland. Holland is tied for 5th on the all-time Ranger shutout list. Inside, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. The new pitching coach of the Rangers is Doug Brocail, former Astros pitcher and pitching coach, and he is an advocate of pitching inside. That one bounces. 3 balls, 2 strikes from Derek Holland. Doug Brocail alongside the skipper Jeff Bannister, American League Manager of the Year, and it's Jeff Bannister bobblehead night here at Globe Life Park. That's whacked on a line to left field, and it's caught by Ian Desmond on a hard hit out number 1.
Well, we may go ways into tonight's game before anybody hits the ball that hard again. Maybe not harder throughout the course of the entire night.
Good at bat for Altuve, taking the full count, and he put a solid swing on it for out number 1. George Springer has homered in each of his last 2 games. He gets to the plate with a .269 average, 3 long balls, 8 runs batted in for Springer. George goes for the first one, and it's a foul ball for strike 1. Springer went 6 for 12 in the Detroit series. Drove in the 100th run of his career in that series. He is 2 for 7 lifetime against Holland. Holland coaxes him, but Springer's not biting, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike with Carlos Correa waiting. The Rangers won 13, and the Astros won 6 in their 19-game series last year. In for a strike, 1-2.
There's a little more of that inside corner you're talking about, and I have a feeling that is part of the game plan for these Texas Rangers pitchers tonight. And if they get that call, they will be well aided.
Yes, they certainly will. Stays at 1-2 on the foul ball by Springer. The Astros have lost 7 straight games at Globe Life Park. A.J. Hinch's club trying to get back on that top spot in terms of winning the Silver Boot, and also going on into the playoffs with the #1 spot, as the Rangers did last year. Rangers losing in 5 games to Toronto, while the Astros lost in 5 games to Kansas City in the playoffs last year. Springer on a good take goes to a full count. Looks like a tempting slower offering, and Correa hoping that a base runner is aboard, or maybe Springer has rounded the bases when he comes up. This was quite a season series last year. These two teams played very hard against each other. That's a line drive that'll not be caught. Desmond will play it off the wall. Springer heads for second, and he has a one-out double. Two hard liners to left. One was an out. One was Springer's first double of the year.
Okay, I was wrong. It didn't take long to hit another ball that hard. But I mean, both of those balls were pure scald.
Yeah.
Take a look at this 3-2 fastball right down the gut, and George was totally ready for it.
Carlos Correa has great career numbers against Holland. 4 for 5, 2 homers, 3 runs batted in for Correa. He got the day off Sunday, and he looks at ball 1. Correa with 3 homers, 7 runs batted in, and a .267 average, trying to drive home Springer, who just picked up his first double. The Astros as a team are hitting .186 with runners in scoring position. Only 2 teams have a lower batting average with men in scoring position in the majors. That comes in, and it evens the count at 1-1. Odor trying to keep Springer close. The pitch is down and in. And it's a 2-ball 1-strike count for Derek Holland, the 29-year-old southpaw from Newark, Ohio. 25th round draft choice in '06 by the Rangers. 56 major league wins, 41 losses, and a 4.25 career ERA. That one's rolled to the right side. Mitch Moreland stabs it, leads the pitcher covering, and they get the out at first on a close play. 3-1 play with Holland covering, with Springer advancing to third.
Now that's a fantastic effort with nobody out and a man at second base. The Astros have had some of those opportunities recently and not really come through, but could be that Correa is just trying to stay back, hit the ball to right field, get something going hot again. Watch him stay with it, pitch out over the plate, and he's got a fantastic ability in that direction.
Lost the race by about a half step. 2 outs, runner at third. Tyler White bats. White with 4 homers, 11 runs batted in, has a .357 batting average. 8th in total bases in the American League. And that's ball 1. In the minor leagues, he absolutely raked against left-handed pitching. He's 3rd in slugging in the American League at .714. He takes a close one. That makes it 2-0 to Tyler.
Like watching one of those Greg Maddux games in the past when he misses just off the edge. Is the umpire going to go ahead and concede in and call those? You don't want to see that early if you're on the offensive side.
White calls time, steps away. The Astros have won 5 and lost 8. The Rangers are 7-6. White looks at it. It's a strike. 2-1. Glad you're with us tonight. The next 2 games of this series will be at the same start time as tonight, 6:30 for pregame shows on Root Sports. And then back home for the weekend, the Boston Red Sox, Friday through Sunday. In the air, the second baseman Odor goes out into shallow right field, peels off. Nomar Mazara makes the catch. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left, no score. Now the Rangers come up against former Ranger right-hander Scott Feldman with this starting lineup for Jeff Bannister. Delino DeShields, the former Astro farmhand, leading it off in center field. Nomar Mazara, a hot and talented rookie in right field. Prince Fielder, the DH. Adrian Beltre, the third baseman. Mitch Moreland at first base. Ian Desmond in left field. Ruth Ned Odor, the second baseman. Elvis Andrus, the shortstop. Brett Nicholas, the catcher.
And on the mound for the Astros, veteran right-hander Scott Feldman. He's gotten a couple of games this year, has brought that ERA to about the 3.5 mark, 0-1. Looking for that first win on the year against Kansas City. His last outing, a very good one. Scoreless outing over 6 1/3 against KC. Against the Texas Rangers, over 7 career starts, 2-3, ERA under the 4 mark. That's good, especially when you take into consideration the games played in this ballpark.
DeShields takes the first pitch. It's good for strike one. DeShields with a .326 average has 1 homer, 3 runs batted in. He's put together a very nice start with a .420 on base average. Out of his bunting ability, the Astros pinch in at the corners, respecting that, and the cutter is a little bit high. It's 1-1 for Feldman. Feldman has pitched many games in this ballpark as a member of the Texas Rangers. 16-20 lifetime at Globe Life. Catches the corner there. And it's 1-2, and his ERA is 4.27. That's pretty respectable in this offensive ballpark, Ash.
No question about it. You come in here and pitch a number of games, you're going to have your tough times. Can you minimize those tough times?
Foul back. You talked about his last start against Kansas City. His own error allowed a couple of unearned runs to come home in that inning. And DeShields, of course, has been a good spark plug for this Texas club. So Feldman tries to begin his game by keeping a speedy man off base. But Feldman really threw the ball well against Kansas City, a disciplined team in terms of hitting the ball hard and able to get on base a lot with that high batting average. He really kept the Royals down offensively. That's in the air, foul and out of play. And I thought that he was very wise in that game, Ash, and putting all of his stuff together. His fastball is a pitch he's only thrown 32% of the time in the early going this season.
He doesn't have the great fastball. I think he has to acknowledge that to himself, but he'll hit that 90 mark, 91 sometimes, spotting it well, coming up in the zone like Brent Strom likes, and mixing in the breaking pitches you see right there.
Correa takes care of out number 1. The Rangers lead the American League in runs scored to 61 in 13 games. They're averaging 4.7 runs. Jeff Bannister has welcomed a rookie, Nomar Mazara, to the starting lineup. Shin-Soo Choo is on the disabled list, and that gave Mazara an opportunity to make his major league debut. He's 21 years old, from the Dominican Republic. His father was an officer in the Dominican Navy and very disciplined. And Nomar wanted to be a ball player like Carlos Correa at a very early age. Jose Altuve, a lot of these guys. He's hit .444, 1 homer, 5 runs batted in. His dad got him an English tutor at age 13 to prepare for life in the big leagues. And it sounds a little bit like the Correa story. Mazara takes a strike, and like Correa, he has seized this opportunity so far.
So the game plan was, okay, son, you're going to play Major League Baseball, and here's the way we're going to start it. And you're right, that is exactly what Carlos Correa's life has been like.
2-1. And of course, you're talking about 2 guys who are 21 years old. They could be competing in this battle for the Silver Boot Series for many, many years. Mazara's been on base in all 7 games. Last year, he divided the season between AA Frisco and AAA Round Rock. Hits this one up the middle, but Correa's right there, but he drops it. And Mazara has reached a 1-out error by Correa, his first of the year.
Batting third, the designated hitter, number 84.
Completely routine, that play for Correa. And it didn't look like he was trying to rush or anything, just didn't make the exchange to the right hand. I don't know if Carlos wanted to leave this ball that far to his left foot, maybe. But again, just didn't come up with it cleanly.
Prince Fielder gets an at bat and has the first baseman holding the runner. That gives him a little bit more of a hold on the right side, but the Astros are overshifted, playing him to pull on that side. He looks at strike one. Fielder, 31 years old, coming off a 23 homer, 98 RBI season and a .305 batting average last year. 167. The 11 runs batted in have come with 3 sacrifice flies, some ground balls with runners at third. So not a high batting average, but he's producing the runs.
And as the Astros saw last year, Brownie, this is a good Texas Rangers ball club. I would take my guess that one of the reasons they're just 7-6 right now is because Prince Fielder has not swung a hot bat.
He does like to swing that high heater, doesn't he?
He'll take his hacks.
He was the comeback player of the year in the American League last year after having back problems in 2014. Feldman gives up a drive deep to right field. Fielder is into his trot. 2-run homer. 2-0 Texas. On the 0-2 pitch, he put a lot of lumber to that one. Home run number 2 for Fielder, and he has 13 runs batted in.
He's got some broad shoulders, and he'll put a team on his back at times. And you just hate seeing him get hot on a curveball like this in his first at bat of the series against Houston. But he is a run producer. Watch the curveball over the top. Castro reaching down, maybe under the knees to grab that eventually. But when you go out and get it out in front, it always looks like a hanger.
313th career homer for Prince Fielder. Adrian Beltre follows. Looking at strike one. Beltre has 11 runs batted in with 2 homers and a .292 average. He just signed a 2-year contract extension. That will keep him in a Rangers uniform through 2018. In for a strike for Feldman, and it's 0-2. Rangers were 88-74 last year. 2 games ahead of the Astros when the regular season ended. They were 3rd in runs scored with 751. Beltre a big part of their attack. Rangers have a new hitting coach, Anthony Iapoce. He's been stressing situational hitting, and it's worked for the Rangers.
One thing the Rangers have done well so far in the young season is hit with runners in scoring position.
To the tune of 308 for Anthony Iapoce's hitters. 2-2. Rangers were rained out here Sunday against Baltimore.
I don't know the name of that dance step, but one of the more fun players in all of Major League Baseball.
Quick on his feet. Line to right field. Beltre has one for a single. Mitch Moreland will follow.
Brownie, you talked about that last outing for Feldman when Kansas City took advantage of Scott Feldman's own error. Sometimes it can take one play, and you see how this inning sets up.
Now the 1-out error by Correa, followed by the Fielder homer. Now a single. Now Mitch Moreland. Moreland at .233 has 1 homer, 4 runs batted in. Dead pull hitter. The Astros play him to do that. In tight for ball 1. Moreland is 4 for 12 on this current Texas homestand. Rangers are 3-3 at home. They'll be headed out to Chicago to play the White Sox over the weekend. In for a strike. 1-1. Doug Fister will take the baseball tomorrow night for the Astros against Cole Hamels. Thursday night it's Dallas Keuchel and A.J. Griffin. Moreland started the bat and then checked his swing on the breaking pitch, and the appeal went down to DJ Rayburn at third. He indicated a check swing. It's 2-1. Dallas Keuchel paying attention tonight before he starts game 3 of this series. Mike Fiers just pitched and was the winning pitcher on Sunday, beating Detroit 5-4 as the Astros won their first series of the year. In tight, 3-1 as they take it out on the road again. They are 2-4 away from Minute Maid Park, but it'll be a very short trip, and yet the homestand also will be very short. Just 3 games against Boston over the weekend, and then out to Seattle and Oakland on the next trip. Grounded foul. 3 balls, 2 strikes. It's a very pleasant evening here tonight, Ash.
Very nice. Scott Feldman trying to make it a little less nice for the Texas hitters right there. 3-1. It's a fastball count. He went ahead and came with the fastball and busted it right in on the hands.
Moreland belted 23 homers last year and drove in 85 runs with a .278 batting average. He went to Mississippi State, a native of Amory, Mississippi. Hits this one, and that's going to fall into right field with a little pop fly hit. George Springer will get it in towards second base. And the Rangers continue to rally. 3 straight hits. Moreland was jammed, but it's first and third and 1 out for Desmond now.
Look, you can have your team meeting and say, here's how we would like to pitch a guy, and then you get it right on the hands the way you determined to do so, and he just thumbs one into right field. That's the case of Moreland's hit here.
A.J. Hinch's club trailing 2-0 now hopes to get Ian Desmond. Desmond is slow out of the gate this season. There's ball 1 to Desmond, a 109 hitter, no homers, 1 RBI for Desmond, who signed as a free agent.
I think if there's one lesson to be learned for the Astros in a game like this, in a season series against Texas, we have to be better offensively.
1-1. Now coming into Globe Life Park makes a lot of teams think that they need to score runs to win. Two and 1. So Desmond, the former shortstop, signed knowing that he would be an outfielder with this club because of the presence of Elvis Andrus at short. A year ago today, he was at 298. He wound up hitting 233 though, with 19 homers, 62 runs batted in for Washington, and then got very little interest in the free agent market. That's a strike, and it's 2-2 to Desmond.
It's an odd pitch to take right there. If you're determined to come out of a slump, you take a 2-1 almost gimme fastball coming in there. And now a chance for Feldman to get a big out.
Desmond has had 3 straight days off. It's the breaking ball to center. Here is a hit in front of Gomez, and it's 3-0 Texas on a looping RBI single by Desmond. 4 straight hits.
I've been on the field many times as Brent Strom comes out to talk this over before it erupts. But you can stand out there and say, well, they're not hitting balls hard. The last couple of balls, one a jam shot, one right off the end of the bat. And then you can look at the bomb hit by Prince Fielder. It doesn't matter. It's good hitting right now by the Texas Rangers.
Strom with a few words. Brief ones for Feldman. And it's Rougned Odor coming up. Moreland and Desmond both just finding landing zones in the outfield. No line drives there, but they get great results. And Odor comes up with a .229 average, 1 homer. He's driven in 10. He had quite a rookie season. And then he built on that last year and made it a better one. Up and in, ball 1 to Odor. Odor now at the point that Rangers really expect big things from him. And he's just 22. From Venezuela. He fouls that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Odor's 5 for 12 on this homestand. His last 9 games, he's driven in 10 runs. Feldman threw 102 pitches last time out against Kansas City. Elvis Andrus is on deck. Rangers have the all-time edge against the Astros, 80-49. Here in Arlington, 42-22 against Houston. Hot shot, White. Correa with the stretch, gets the call at second. And that took a long stretch by the Yankees shortstop for out number 2. The throw almost pulled him off the base.
For Tyler White, eyes have been on him right from the first pitch of the season, and this is not a good throw at all. And you could see the tentative nature of the throw. But in setting up the play, he did everything right. Footwork ideal, just a tentative throw that's not a good one. And you can see that Correa did a great job maintaining contact.
It was Correa who turned into the first baseman, so to speak, with a tremendous stretch there. Now runners at first and third. A hot Elvis Andrus on a 5-game hitting streak checks in with a .351 batting average. Andrus has the 8th best average in the American League, sitting there in this number 8 spot and doing some damage with 7 runs batted in. And the toss goes over. Odor is a threat to run. He's 1 for 1 in steals so far. If he were to try it and get thrown out, then Andrus would be the leadoff man in the next inning. The Rangers already having a 3-0 lead. Odor's going, and the ball's dropped by Castro. It's an easy stolen base by Odor. Castro brought the hand up around his right ear, and then the ball dropped out of it. Second steal for Odor.
Castro's so good a year ago, and actually this is, even though it's a breaking ball, ideal pitch to throw on up, and was really setting up his feet perfectly.
Ball 1-2 Andrus. Rangers threaten to do more, leading by 3. Feldman missing, and it's 2 balls, no strikes. That's a close one. It's called ball 3, and it's 3-0 now to Andrus. Strike, and it's 3-1. Feldman joined the Rangers in 05 at the major league level. Borderline call went his way. He was with Texas from 05 through 2012. He belonged to the Cubs in Baltimore and then Houston in 2014. That's a strike. It would have to be after that last call, and it's a full count. Feldman was drafted in the 30th round in 03 by the Rangers. Big pitch coming here for him. Nicholas is on deck. That's a foul ball, third base side. 39 pitches in a long first inning for Feldman. Frequently see a lot of Astros fans here.
Yeah, Brownie, it's been an instant dose of shock and awe dealt here by the Texas Rangers offense.
In the air, but not playable. Rangers got off to a terrible start last year, but they were rolling by the end of the year. Congratulations to A.J. Hinch on being named to that Pac-12 All-Century team for his illustrious career at Stanford as a catcher. Quite an honor. There were 3 catchers named to the team, 30 players total. 2-time player of the year while at Stanford. Knocked down by Feldman. He throws him out. But 8 Rangers bat, and it took more than 40 pitches to put out the side. There's the 2-run homer by Fielder after the error, and the Rangers lead it after 1, 3-0.
We head to the top of the second, and Astros looking to get that silver boot, something that Doug Fister had to get a lesson on, as he is the newest Astro in that clubhouse. But the Lone Star Series starting, and last year Texas taking the silver boot from the Houston Astros. And we will show you in just a second our Jack in the Box inside the box score as we look back at the season series between the Astros and the Rangers. Let's look at it now. Let's take a look at the numbers here. Rangers winning the season series 13-6 on the year. Astros really struggling, like I talked about here at Globe Life Park, but batting average 250 to 289. A lot of home runs for the Houston Astros, but just not enough to get the wins. And the pitching there, 535 versus 382 for the Texas Rangers, guys.
Yeah, the Rangers had their way, certainly. Now Evan Gattis leading it off here as the Astros try to put a dent in Derek Holland's ERA. 167 with no runs batted in for Gattis. And that one pops upstairs for ball 3. It's 3-1. The Astros really wanting to respond here after that 3-run Texas first, giving Holland some working room. Gaddis pumps one deep to right field. That's headed for the corner, and that one will bang off the wall on one bounce and get him to second base with a leadoff double here in the second inning. His first double.
And maybe the first time on the season where he had a chance to possibly think about those 11 triples from last year, but for a couple of slow steps coming out of the box. What a nice way to respond here to try to get something going.
Gaddis, in only his 13th at bat with the Astros, is aboard. First double. Carlos Gomez moves back for ball one in tight. Gomi, a 190 hitter. He has a chance for his first RBI of the season. He has 3 doubles. He had a rest Sunday against Detroit for the first time. Good cut there, and he fouls it. He is 4 for 6 in his career against Holland. This would be an excellent chance for him to get things rolling. He's hit well in 12 games at Globe Life Park. .364, 16 for 44. Foul ball makes it 1-2 to Carlos Gomez.
Don't know what happened right there for Carlos Gomez, but that was a poor swing.
Yeah, it looked like just a late decision to go for it. Did not get a full cut. Very defensive type swing. It only takes one, Ash.
It's all it takes, they tell me.
Not that one, though. 2-2. Holland made his major league debut against the Astros and has generally pitched a lot of decent games against them, although his club scores runs when he's on the mound. Ripped on a line to left field. That'll get the first RBI for Gomez this season. Gaddis scores it. Back-to-back doubles, and Gomez makes it a 3-1 game. Fourth double for Gomez.
Well, it looks like you might want to buckle up tight tonight. Astros did not put anything on the board in that first inning, but pure scalded a couple of balls, and this one is just busted down the line, as you say.
The line drive to left field by Astros hitters is working well tonight, although one was caught. They are stinging some balls off Holland.
Could be a bit of that notion, at least what we're seeing, that Holland's trying to work the right-hand hitters in.
Excellent point, Ash. 3 hits, all doubles for Houston. Marwin Gonzalez is next. Beltre's in close at third. There's strike one. Gonzalez at 211 has his first RBI opportunity here. He gets the call at third base tonight with Valbuena, the left-handed batter, resting. Left-handed hitters in the early going this season, 1 for 12 against Holland. Right-handed hitters just 219 with 1 homer and 32 at bats coming into this game. So things have gone well in most regards for Derek Holland. This is his 11th career start against the Astros. He faced them 3 times last year. And he came up against Colin McHugh in all 3 of those, but his ERA against Houston in those 3 games last year was 7.71.
Guy could make a big difference if he can start getting it hot, especially offensively.
He bounces that one 1-1. He really could.
You know, the stats on Marwin Gonzalez might say that he can hit the home run ball from either side of the plate, and I agree, we've all seen it, but this right-hand side of the plate, he's got a legitimate powerful swing.
He really swung the bat well in spring training this year.
A terrific start, cooled off a little bit, but played so well every time he was sent out there, and didn't matter where he played.
He rips one, a line drive deep to left field. That one bangs off the top of the wall, kicks back toward the infield. Here's Gomez scoring to make it 3-2. Another double. And the first RBI for Margot. That's his second double of the season. 3 consecutive doubles for the Astros here in the second, and 4 in the game already.
Yeah, we would have seen that legitimate power stroke in even stronger fashion had Marwin just chosen to get under this ball a little bit. And I mean, some balls are getting hit hard.
Very close to home run distance. That brought pitching coach Doug Brocail out to the mound. Terrific swings in this inning. Gaddis went deep to right field for his double. Then Gomez and Gonzalez banged out line drive doubles to left. Now it's Jason Castro. And the only left-handed hitter in the Astros lineup comes to the plate with 1 RBI and a 167 batting average. Comebacker. Holland looks Gonzalez back, takes care of out number 1, and it's Jake Marisnick due up.
That fastball got in on the hands of Jason Castro, and maybe Jason was thinking about trying to go back up the middle, maybe left center field, and tied himself up.
Marisnick got a start on Sunday against Detroit in center field and went 1 for 3, scored a run. This is his 3rd start of the year, 2nd in left field, and he brings a 125 average to the batter's box. That bat gets away from him, and it went back to the screen as the ball was fouled for strike 1. And it fell down near where Altuve was standing in the on-deck circle.
Good aggressive swing for a while.
Yeah. Follow through.
Yeah, that follow through was dangerous if you are swinging the bat at home. Women and children stay in another room.
Not sure, Ash, if this is one of the ballparks. Probably it is, in which the screens behind home plate were made wider this year, but that happened in several major league parks.
Yeah, I think you're right, Brownie. And to me, I was just really grateful to see that screen extended to that point.
That was not the case at Minute Maid Park. The screen was deemed to be sufficient to give the fans behind home plate and on both sides coverage from those flying bats like that one, but it certainly stopped that one. That one was high up on the screen too. 1-1. Holland seems to be throwing a high portion of sliders in the early going.
Maybe that he's finding a high percentage of his seldom fastballs are getting hit really hard.
That could have something to do with it. Foul back. Well, whatever the case, the Astros responding here with their 3 consecutive doubles from the first 3 batters have served notice that they're not going to go down quietly, and also they've given Scott Feldman a little more chance to regroup and rest after that 41 pitch or 42 pitch first inning he had. Pick off at second, and the throw was right there on the base, but Gonzalez went back in head first. Takes off for third. There's a swing and a miss, and the throw. He is safe with a stolen base. Marwin Gonzalez had a big jump. That was a strikeout for out number 2 as he stole the base. First of the year for Margot.
He just read it right. Watching him at second base. Look, see, he got 2-3 steps before the pitch was even delivered. Just timed it out and able to nab the bag. He's not one of those guys you generally think of as a base stealer.
16 for 30 for his career. He's there for Jose Altuve, who lined to left field leading off the game. And Holland wants the signs again. Now some hitters, and Marisnick may or may not fall into this category, don't like that runner at second trying to steal third. It's distracting to them.
I've heard many a hitter say that, although boy, it sure is a good thing to have a guy in scoring position.
Absolutely.
Our Ford spray chart. As you see, Jose Altuve against the lefties last year tore him up, hit .372, best in the major leagues over the last 2 years, and you see he uses the whole field. And I think you might find that more than 11% of his hits this year will go to right field. Now, that might change against the lefties, maybe more so against the righties.
Well, he's hit 2 home runs to right field so far.
And he's really been something.
And he had never done that in his career prior to this season. 1-1. He's the first Astros second baseman to open the season with 4 homers in the club's first 13 games. So it's a powerful start for Jose. He's tied for second with 8 extra base hits in the American League. Not biting on that curve, but it's 2-1 now. Holland at age 29 has had worlds of experience. World Series back-to-back in 2010, 2011. He won a World Series game in 2011 for the Rangers. Rip, but there's Beltre coming up with it and making the play to deny Altuve. 2 runs on 3 hits, a runner left at third base. It's 3-2 Texas.
At Globe Life, and the Astros and Red Sox face off in a 3-game series this weekend, and Friday the 22nd is also Friday Night Fireworks at Minute Maid Park. For tickets, visit Astros.com or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. That's right, Big Papi's coming, guys.
He won't be allowed to do that, though. That was a firework night for Big Papi. Brett Nicholas, the catcher, the number 9 hitter, takes the first pitch from Scott Feldman here in the bottom of the 2nd inning, and it's ball 1. 42 pitches in the game for Feldman. He could use a quick 2nd inning here. Nicholas, a .273 hitter, tops one to first base and foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nicholas has spent several years in this farm system. He was a 6th round pick in 2010. Has been at Round Rock the last couple of years, but getting a chance now with injuries to 2 catchers, Robinson Chirinos, who was to have been the starters on the disabled list, and also Chris Jimenez is disabled. So that gives him a chance this season for his first major league time. 2 balls and a strike to to Nicholas, who was born in Phoenix and went to the University of Missouri. He also attended Gonzaga University and also Scottsdale Community College, where he played for the Fighting Artichokes.
Is that right?
That's what we're told, that's really the nickname of that team. Can you believe it?
Puts a pit in my stomach.
Made his debut April 11th at Seattle. He's probably in the Fighting Artichokes Hall of Fame now.
You got to play a little basketball if you go to Gonzaga, don't you?
Oh. Nicholas takes a leadoff walk. First walk of the game for Feldman. Strom working there, and that's a new iPad setup provided for the manager and whoever else wants to use it in the Astros dugout. And A.J. Hinch said about a week ago, I asked him if he was using it. He said it's more for preparation for the game than during the game, but we're using it.
Apparently Strami didn't like the video being shown there.
That's for sure. Feldman didn't either after the leadoff walk. Now he turns his attention to DeShields, who grounded out to shortstop. Tried to push a bunt and he fouled it for strike one. DeShields was a first-round pick of the Astros, as you know. Bunt came up, but he did manage to use his speed pretty well last year, Ash.
Well, he's got great speed and had terrific stolen base numbers in the minor leagues. Kind of bounced back and forth. Big time prospect and then didn't perform well. Winds up with Texas.
In the Rule 5 draft in December 2014, after hitting .236 that year for AA Corpus Christi. And he was beaned that season in April. Well, he was picked up in that Rule 5 draft, and now at age 23, he's coming back for his second major league season after scoring 83 runs in his first. He had 10 triples last year. He does get the bunt down. Castro spins, throws to White, and gets him. It's a sacrifice. Nicholas to second, one out.
Well, the Rangers can slam it. They can flip some base hits out there and play a little small ball with the bunt as well.
Castro pounced on it.
It's a nice play, and when you've got that kind of speed going down the line, you just want to make sure you clear the path, get a good throw angle into the bag at first base, and make sure that first baseman's glove does not come apart on the throw.
Nomar Mazara is up for the second time. He reached on the error by Carlos Correa. Mazara is still 20. I said 21. He doesn't turn 21 until April 26th, so he is the youngest player in the majors. Ball one.
Those numbers don't look like they're coming from the youngest player in the bigs.
They certainly do not. 12 hits in his first 7 major league games. Only the second player in Rangers/Senators history with at least 12 hits in his first 7 games. Del Unser had 13 hits in his first 7 games in the majors for the '68 Senators.
Pretty good little outfielder.
Yeah. Played for a long time. Now 3-0 to Mazara.
It's not ideal to be walking guys as you head into the top part of this batting order for Texas. Maybe I should say more clearly, right into that part of the lead part of the order.
Bench fielder on deck. He ripped a 2-run homer in the first. Right down the middle, and it's 3-1. Nomar Mazara, like Nomar Garciaparra, has a father named Ramon, and his first name is that first name turned around backwards. That's ball 4, the second walk of the inning, and it brings up Fielder. Fielder hit an 0-2 curveball into the seats in right field for his second home run of the season to make it 2-0 Rangers.
hit it on the curveball, and I wonder if any of the talk for the Astros out on the hill right now is about maybe staying away. Now, what we saw from Fielder last year when he got it going well as the Astros get an arm loosening in the pen was that Fielder could hit the ball to left field extremely well. So he's a tough guy to figure at the plate.
Chris Davinsky is getting loose quickly. Fielder came into this game 1 for his last 15. That's strike 1 on Fielder.
I don't know if the first of 19 games sets a tone between a couple of clubs, but the Rangers set that tone so strongly a year ago that I think for the Astros it does feel a bit like a need to go out there and make something happen in their direction.
Ball, 1 strike to Fielder. He had terrific numbers against the Astros last year. 358, 4 homers, 19 runs batted in 19 games. Now 2-1 to Prince with Beltre on deck.
I don't think the game plan was to be up as often as Feldman has been at this to this point.
Yeah. Three balls and a strike. Yeah, he's somebody who likes to pitch with precision, and he's struggling to do that tonight, Ash.
Clearly, with Brent Strom as the pitching coach, and you're seeing it more around baseball, there are times when you intend to be up, but it feels like pitch after pitch is up, out of, or in the strike zone.
Big 3-1 here. Out to left field. Marisnik is there. That's 2 outs, and now Beltre bats.
There are big second outs, and then there are huge second outs when it comes off the bat of Prince Fielder.
How do you figure? When the count was 0-2, Fielder hit the curveball for a homer. When it's 3-1, he makes an out.
You know, and it looked like, it's tough to tell without seeing the grid at the plate, but it looked like that pitch was right through the heart of the plate. Last year, the Rangers had their way with the Astros. And of course, they had the big guys playing well. Adrian Beltre, the third baseman, Prince Fielder hitting over 350 in each case. The home runs, extra base hits were there, RBIs. They were just simply tough to stay up with all the runs they scored.
Beltre, who singled to right earlier, looks at ball 1. Beltre hit a homer last Tuesday at Seattle. That was number 415 of his career. And that put him right ahead of Darrell Evans for the 4th most home runs ever hit by a regular third baseman. Turns away from it, and it's called a strike. 1-1. And Fagan with a call.
You see the smile on the face. Beltre has as much fun playing this game maybe as anybody. Thing is, he backs it up with terrific play.
Rangers certainly have recognized his importance to the franchise with that contract extension, and he is backing it up with his hitting in the early going and also fielding better. He had a torn thumb ligament last year, and he played all year with it. Foul back. 1-2. Beltre is 37 years old now. You know, he's the only active player, Ash, who hit a home run at the Astrodome.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. 2000, the first year from Minute Maid Park. So, yeah, I guess that takes you back a ways.
He hit one in '99 at the Astrodome. A little nubber out to Feldman. And he gets out of trouble. What a reversal as he retired Fielder and Beltre with 2 men on to end the second inning and keep it at a 1-run game, 3-2 Rangers. Houston Astros baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Lexus. The new 2016 Lexus ES and ES Hybrid. It's next level luxury. By Texas Bay Credit Union. Texas Bay is the official credit union of the Houston Astros. Start saving today. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency. Low fares. Nothing too high. 3-2 ball game. The Rangers lead it after 2 tonight at Globe Life Park. George Springer takes, and there is strike 1 to open the 3rd inning. Springer ripped a double to the left field corner in the 1st. He was stranded at 3rd base. In the 2nd inning, Marwin Gonzalez was also stranded at 3rd. But the Astros, who trailed 3-0 after 1, came back with 3 straight doubles in the 2nd inning to get their 2 runs. In for a strike. 1-2. And Holland made his major league debut in 09 against the Astros. He gave up a homer to Lance Berkman in that game. That's a shot to left field. It's hooking and might be foul, and it is. Springer never really left the area of home plate.
We were talking about the balls hit sharply to left field by the Astros hitters. And the tendency for Holland to want to come in on them with the fastball. He tried one more time right here, and Springer showed a very quick bat.
That was a bid for 3 homers in 3 games for George. Way upstairs. And it's 2-2. Since Holland returned from the disabled list in September of 2014, he's made 17 starts, going 7-3 with a 3.44 ERA. Springer's out off the end of the bat with that one, and he fouls it for a 2-2 count. Well, the Astros, as we mentioned, have played 13 games without facing a left-handed starter. Now they get 2 in a row. Cole Hamels tomorrow night. Foul back by Springer, and he keeps battling.
Another breaking ball. George had a very good rip at this one. And it's a great location to be able to handle, but that's a massive swing, and he knew he wanted that one.
Good cut there.
And he's not fooled between fastball and off speed.
Yeah, I just wondered here, what would you think with Holland and Nicholas working? How are you going to get this guy out with the swings he's taking, Ash?
Well, I bet they are wondering that right now. The Astros just want to see George keep swinging it like this.
Josh Hamilton there with a beard, and Cole Hamels in the dugout. Hamilton on the disabled list to open the season. Springer works it to 3-2. George has set the quickest home run pace in the beginning of his career of any Astro. 39 homers in his first 193 games. The most in club history to that point of a season, of a career. Broken bat, and it's out into shallow center field. And caught by DeShields.
Yellowwood is bringing the lumber. And we take a look. With a glance at Carlos Correa. And he will bring some lumber, no question about it. He's had a little bit of a struggle lately. But when he finds it, look out, Major League pitchers. A couple of home runs off Holland. September 26th. That one right there in Houston last year.
Yeah, he had great swings last year against Holland. First time up, he grounded out to the first baseman. Looking at ball one. Carlos has 25 homers, more than any other major league shortstop in his first 111 career games since 1913. Liner over shortstop, and the left fielder will not be able to make the catch. Desmond plays it on a bounce. Correa is 1 for 2.
Maybe break up the skids a little bit. Sometimes you're glad when you catch one off the end of the bat, just a fraction, and it drops in front of an outfielder.
There's a lot of room out there, Ash.
There's a lot of room, but the Astros drives to left field have been carrying a little bit too much to the left fielder. Take advantage. Hate to even say Texas Rangers got a couple of soft ones, but they've earned everything they've gotten.
5 hits for the Astros, 4 for the Rangers. Tyler White hit a fly ball to right earlier. Strike one.
They're not going to give up on that endeavor to get to the inside edge.
They keep pounding away. White with 11 runs batted in is the club leader in that department. One and one. Tyler has hit those 4 homers, tying the club record for the most within a player's first 12 career games. John Singleton did it in 2014. J.D. Martinez did it in 2011. Of the 4 homers, 3 have come when he's been behind in the count, and the 4th one came when the count was 2-2.
Those are very intriguing stats, and say that he's just one of those hitters that sees the ball and then attacks it.
I asked him before the game if that was typical of him. He said, well, not too sure, but he said, I do hit pretty well on 0-1 counts.
You know, I can understand the not too sure comment, because he's, quite frankly, through the minor league career, is not accustomed to hitting a lot of home runs.
True.
I think he's just learning to be that kind of hitter.
That's a good cut.
That kind of swing will teach you how to hit a long ball.
1-2.
Unleash the beast. You just kick yourself when you foul off that pitch that's right there for you.
Fouls it back. Well, if you have examined the minor league statistics of Tyler White in his career, what you might not have been able to extrapolate from that is 13 major league strikeouts in his first 42 at bats. But that is not all that unusual. And just think of facing all these pitchers for the first time, and the various things that he's doing for the first time in all these ballparks and things of that nature. But that was not Tyler White in the minor leagues. He did not strike out like that, and yet look at his production even with those 13 strikeouts.
Yeah, I don't think you would even say, hey, let's cut down on the strikeouts right now. I think you want to continue to focus on driving in the runs. Tyler White's a guy that looks like he can be quite a run producer.
And he has good at bats like this, fouling off pitches. Very seldom has he had a 3-pitch at bat. He just really battles very well.
What I saw right there was, with that 2-strike curveball, he wasn't out in front and reaching, trying to get just a nibble piece. He actually stayed back, trying to drive that ball to right field and fouled it off.
They play him straight away in the outfield. Fastball up, makes it 2-2.
When you get to the big leagues, learn to expand that strike zone a little bit with a couple of strikes. They will bust you right off the edges like that, and sometimes you'll see the call go the other way.
Hitting coach Dave Hudgens has seen a .357 hitter with 4 homers and 11 runs batted in coming into this game. And another throw goes over on Correa, who is 2 for 3 in base stealing. Rangers have allowed only 1 steal in 4 tries coming into this game, but Marwin Gonzalez stole third earlier. Nicholas has thrown out the only attempted base stealer when he's been the catcher prior to tonight, but Marwin did get to third. It's a good matchup with the Astros running game. They now have 12 stolen bases, second in the American League, and the Rangers extremely stingy at allowing them. Now a 3-2 count.
I'll be surprised if they don't run right here.
Not going, and there's a strikeout throw back behind the runner, and Correa dives back in. 2 outs.
Don't call me surprised, but you could also see in watching Correa, he just didn't have any feel for when he could go there on Holland.
Yeah, Holland's thrown over quite a few times. So White is a strikeout victim. 2 outs, and it's Evan Gattis now. Gattis doubled to right field to start the 2-run second. He continues to work on catching, doing some drills and catching some bullpens. Strike 1 to him. He might be catching in an Astros game as soon as a week or 10 days away from now. Gomez is on deck. 0-2. Evan was born here in the Dallas area. Nine-game hitting streak against Texas now, including the double tonight, with a .406 average and 8 runs batted in for Gattis. He went to Bishop Lynch High School. That's out to right center field by Gattis. Hit way out there, but it's caught by Mazzara on the warning track. No runs a hit and the man left. 3-2 Texas. third inning right after we go to Julia.
Thank you, guys. It's time to name that Astro. This is brought to you by your local Honda dealer. We've got your clues. Make sure to tweet us your best guess. He spent his entire career with the Houston Astros, multi-sport varsity athlete in high school, and he's a fan of the music group U2. Now, how do we have that kind of information? That's what I want to know. I'll tell you who this Astro is later in the broadcast, guys.
We get a lot of our information from you.
Julia is Miss Inside.
Yeah. 3-2, Texas leading. Mitch Moreland has a single to right field. The Astros have out hit the Rangers 5-4. Moreland worked the count full before his hit to right.
Brownie, I saw you had written down misinformation, but
yeah. We can give you some misinformation. Big curveball, strike one.
just not going to come from Julia, that's all.
No, it doesn't come from her. She's very accurate. Good to see her parents at the game tonight.
They seem to be big Julia Morales fans.
Hey, how about that? Popped out of the mitt and he caught it with a bare hand. 1-1.
Jason Castro just showing off back there.
One ball, two strikes. Moreland out in front of the slow curve at 76 miles per hour. Feldman was the opening day starter one year for the Texas Rangers. Scott's 33 years old, listed at 6'7". In the air, and Castro comes over for it. With the shift on, he might have to do a little more legwork than catchers usually do, because Marwin Gonzalez would have a long run to get to a foul ball outside third base.
Yeah, you don't think about that. How the shift forces a catcher to extend his range, I guess, up that third base line.
I haven't seen that gizmo that gentleman had in the stands. The large fist to hold his drink. Broken bat. White gets in front of it. Good footwork by Tyler to make the pickup easier. MLB.com at bat lets you stay up to the moment on Astros baseball with game day, live game highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet. One down. Lance McCullers has been throwing some bullpens, trying to work his way back into the Astros rotation. He had one rehab start for Corpus Christi and has been taking some extra time before getting that second one. Ian Desmond had the RBI single earlier. There's strike one.
Well, Julia Morales comes back home here to the Dallas area. I think she went soft on the fans. At least that's how they feel in terms of this name that Astro.
Well, she'll make up for it tomorrow. 1-1.
Soft?
Soft, yeah.
No.
No, you didn't. Okay.
No.
Hard-nosed in terms of the player, but
oh, very, yeah. Gritty? Can we say gritty?
Gritty would
Say
work.
gritty,
Yeah. But gritty is a term that's often used on a guy that is not that good. So I think you might have to follow that up with something.
Okay. You're going to get me in trouble.
Yeah.
Is Twitter getting it right? I haven't checked yet.
They have just blown it up on you, Julia.
I'll go harder next time.
3 balls and a strike.
Challenge accepted.
How is the
Just
weather
get right.
down there? Comfortable night?
It's perfect.
Did you get a little sun today, Julia?
As you notice everything.
I do.
That's cranked out to center field. Gomez back, turning and still on the way. Now looks up and it's off the wall and then off his hand. It kicks back towards second base. That's a long double for Desmond, who's come alive tonight. 2 for 2.
Yeah, that was one of the inside pieces of information that Ian Desmond was not swinging it well, but wow.
Number 5 for the Rangers went a long way.
Looked like it was pretty well center cut. Maybe a break you can take advantage of. Keep that run off the board.
Almost got out to center field. Rangers get their 5th hit, and Rougned Odor is the batter. He grounded into a force play earlier. Little cat and mouse game going on at second there. Correa was creeping in towards second, trying to keep Desmond a little bit closer. Then when Correa dropped back a couple of steps, Desmond took a couple steps bigger lead toward third. Pulled into right field. That'll get a run home. Springer over to play it. Into second base. RBI single by Odor. 4-2 Texas. It's 11 runs batted in for the young second baseman.
He's a player that can get under some people's skin, but he's a heck of a player. It looked like he got one in on the hands. Breaking ball that stayed up and not on the barrel, but nice solid line drive to drive in a run.
2-run lead for the Rangers with Andrus batting. He hit the ball back to the pitcher. Feldman knocked it down and threw him out. Throws over hard. Odor stole a base in the first inning. Last year the Astros had a 5.35 ERA in the 19 games against Texas. This one gets behind Castro, and Odor advances to second. Took a big turn there.
I don't know what happened here. Let's watch Jason. He's not going down to try to block, and ball, dirt, glove, all about the same time. It's one Jason knows he should handle.
Bunting, that's back toward the pitcher Feldman, who grabs it and throws to first to get Andrus, and that'll be getting Odor to third, presumably a sacrifice, even though he was really bunting for a base hit.
I guess you're always trying to extend innings. It's not what your big guy does right there to try to pick up a man from second base.
Brett Nicholas drew a walk in the second inning. Rolled to Tyler White down on a knee for the play at first. The Rangers settle for a run on 2 hits. They strand a runner, and after 3 it's a 2-run edge for Texas, 4-2 over Houston.
Kick your weekends off at Minute Maid Park every Friday night. Home game with the best fireworks show in town. The next Friday night fireworks of the season. It's Friday, April 22nd. For more information, visit astros.com/fireworks or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. The Red Sox in town too, guys.
That should be really something of a weekend with the Red Sox sporting a very good club this year. There's ball one. Carlos Gomez ripped an RBI double in the second inning. 1 for 1 so far. 1 ball, 1 strike. Very energetic player, right? And we were talking about that before the game tonight. But he said, Ash, after a game, he has no energy at all. Just completely tapped out after games. 1 and 2. He uses it all up. Foul ball keeps the count there at 1 ball, 2 strikes. This is his 10th major league season. He has loved to hit here. Great numbers here. He said he figures he's good for about 18 major league seasons. Ash.
Yeah, I was intrigued by the comment that came out of Milwaukee. And of course, he's beloved there from his years playing there, but said he wouldn't mind finishing his career with the Brewers.
He shoots one down the left field line. This one goes foul. Yeah, and we don't know whether he would want to do a Lance Berkman, Roy Oswalt thing of after everything is said and done, just sign a one-day contract to retire with them or actually play with them. That wasn't really too clear, was it?
Nothing clarified, but keep them guessing, I guess, huh?
Yeah. Well, it certainly got him a good response in Milwaukee.
That's surprising.
Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good to see Tim Purpura here tonight. Astros former general manager, now doing some scouting for the Astros. Living in this area, and he's usually here when we come.
Scouting on the major league side, I gather?
I believe so. Yep. Full count now to Gomez, who's walked just once this season. Holland has not walked a man yet tonight. Out to right center field. That'll hang for DeShields. 1 out.
Third baseman Marwin Gonzalez.
Marwin Gonzalez drove in a run with a double to left in the second inning. Holland is trying to get the attention of Rougned Odor on his positioning at second base. Now he's moving to his right, a little bit closer to second. Ball one.
Yeah, Marwin hasn't had a whole lot of playing time so far this year, but the numbers are starting to kind of fall into position. And he could have used that ball to get out of here, that drive off the top of the wall.
In for a strike. That evens the count at 1-1. Checking that ruling last inning, that was ruled a pass ball by Jason Castro, getting Odor from first to second base rather than a wild pitch. Up the middle, and Andrews tracks it down, spins, throws to first. Spectacular play.
And they say he's been playing really well. Now, he's been a pretty good player for some time, a guy that's been loaded with tools. But the tools are starting to come to the forefront, and this is a heck of a play. And Marwin says, why show it on me? Yeah, that's all out. And really gets Marwin easily.
It took about 8 or 9 steps to get to that baseball, and then had to execute that 360 spin move and throw it quickly. Jason Castro grounded back to the pitcher. That's ball 1 to Castro. Neither pitcher has had a 1-2-3 inning tonight. Holland works very quickly. 2 balls, no strikes. Now 2-1. Derek back in 2011 was 16-5 with a 3.95 ERA. Won 2 more games in the postseason that year. And it falls behind 3-1 on Castro. Castro is 4 for 9 lifetime against Holland.
Holland's rushing that fastball up there pretty well for a starter. 93.
He crowds him, and the count goes full now. Holland made just 10 starts last year for Texas with the shoulder problems, placing him on the disabled list, and lost a game in the postseason. Castro takes, and it's ball 4. The appeal went down to DJ Rayburn, but he checked his swing, and that's the first walk of the game for Holland.
Outfielder Jake Marisnick.
Give Jake Marisnick a chance to bat.
Watch this bat. Pretty strong hands there from Jason Castro. Yeah, that's a great job.
Clearly was able to keep his hands out in front of the barrel to get the call. Marisnick was torrid out of the gate last year. A tremendous month of April. Fouls that one away. There's strike 1.
And at the time, it looked like it was great strides being made to become that complete player. The guy that plays not only great defense, runs the bases really well, but swings the bat. Trying to find that stroke again.
Oh, 2 for Holland. The Rangers have surrendered 22 home runs this season.
Baltimore Orioles lead the league with 23 home runs, so that kind of gives you an idea.
Marisnick's down on strikes. 3rd strikeout for Holland. No runs, no hits, a man left. 4-2 Texas.
The Astros. This moment in history is brought to you by MD Anderson. On this date, it was Ken Hawk Harrelson retiring after being traded to the Indians, convinced to return by the commissioner. That was Bowie Kuhn at the time, and you can put it on the board. Yes.
Good. Got the southern twang in there and everything. Delino DeShields Jr. leads it off. It's 4-2. Fly ball out to center field, and Carlos Gomez moves over. 1 out. Actually, it's not Junior, because people thought it was for years, but apparently he doesn't have the same middle name as his dad.
How long do you have to listen to people call you Junior before you say, please stop that?
That's kind of insulting to be a junior, right?
I don't know.
You don't want to hear that.
How many major league players have been juniors? I can think of Jim Gilliam way back when.
Well, there was a pretty good junior, Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
He didn't suffer any repercussions from being called junior.
His dad wasn't bad either.
Dad was a fine player. You're right. Nomar Mazara, 0 for 1, reached on an error, scored a run. And he gets strike 1. Blue Jays lead the Orioles 4-3 at the end of 8 in Baltimore, where the Orioles are 5-0 at home this season. No balls, 2 strikes. Ball popped out of Castro's mitt. He looked out at Feldman.
Castro said something out to Feldman as he missed this pitch. It bounced out of the glove, and then Feldman looked at him like, what?
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Didn't know if Jason got crossed up or what that was all about, but they were definitely communicating the way pitchers and catchers do without speaking.
Yeah, I was going to say more like a family kind of a thing.
Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You look at me one more time like that.
That one's hit foul and hard. Curveball. The Orioles might just hang in there in that AL East race. You know what? Yes, they have a lot of firepower.
Yeah, there's a lot of games to go too, but that is intriguing. I'm also intrigued at the Red Sox getting off to a good start. Toronto Blue Jays they've been the popular pick over there, and they've not really set the world on fire. I liked what we saw from the Yankees.
Yes. Well, remember that 16-6 game they won? They just had great at bats. They have all those veteran hitters who can work counts in their favor and hit the ball hard. They've got more than 2,000 home runs on that roster.
I don't see Tampa Bay making it happen this year.
I have to agree with you. And how many times have they fooled us?
They do. Where's Joe Madden when you need him?
He's with the best team in baseball right now, the Chicago Cubs.
So I hear.
You hear about that. The Cubs are 10-3, best record in the majors. They're averaging 5.8 runs per game, and they have the best ERA in the majors, 2.24.
You average 5 runs a game, you're going to win a lot.
Yeah, it's ripped foul. Sizzling liner. And she thought she should have had it.
High expectations. That's the way it goes. Yeah, it was hers. She called it. I can never face my family again.
Line drive like that gets there before you can raise your glove up. Oh, that looked like a good pitch. 3-2.
Starting to sound more and more like a ball player right now.
Well,
come on, give me that one, Blue.
Look at this.
Yeah, that's a good pitch. Is right. That's your bottom of the knees. You need it. You got to have it.
Ball 4. Mazara works his way on.
And then, of course, you throw ball 4 and you think, come on, you got to help me out a little bit when I deliver the perfect pitch.
3rd walk of the 9. That pitch count up to 86 now. And it's Prince Fielder. Fielder ripped a 2-run homer in the 1st inning, hit a fly ball to left in the 2nd. Chris Davinsky was warming up earlier. Looks like Chris is at it again. So if he doesn't come in soon, he's probably burned for the night, so to speak. Punched out to third base. Marwin Gonzalez to second. Carlos Correa to first. Double play. And that'll help keep Feldman in there as that ends the fourth inning with the score 4-2 Texas.
Short, top of the fifth. Rangers out in front 4-2. And it's time for our Chevy Stroh poll. We have a fun one tonight. Which Astro at bat keeps you glued to your seat? Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, Colby Rasmus, or George Springer? And some of those bats have been really hot lately. Make sure to vote at the Root Sports SW Twitter page. We'll show you the winner later. Brownie.
Thanks, Julia. 4-2 lead for Derek Holland. Jose Altuve is in the box, ready to go in the fifth inning. He's 0 for 2 in this game. He lined out to left field, and then he hit a hot grounder to third, fielded by Beltre. And he takes strike one. That one almost clipped him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Maybe the Rangers have noticed that Jose Altuve is hitting the ball hard to right field, and they wanted to make him conscious of the inside pitch so they can get the outside corner with a call. 1-2.
You know, Altuve's been so good against the right-hand pitching so far this season, hitting home runs the other way, that I almost feel like in watching him, he's getting a different look that maybe requires an adjustment against the lefty. Although he's hit 2 balls sharply this evening.
Fouls that one back. This is the 74th career start at Globe Life Park for Holland. There's a 4.71 ERA here. He gets Altuve to lunge at an outside soft offering. Strikeout number 4.
Bring on the righties. We're talking about the guy who has had the best batting average over the last couple of years in the major leagues against lefties, and made to look like just couldn't handle that pitch at all.
George Springer doubled to left and flied to center. He's worked the count full both times tonight. That comes in for strike 1. Carlos Correa is on deck. It's 0-2. Holland pounding it in there at 93.
They just keep busting in.
Yeah, that's certainly been the game plan for Holland tonight, hasn't it?
No, and he backs it up with pretty good velocity.
Mets are torching the Phillies 11-1. They're in the 9th now. The bat started. He checked it though. Marvin Hudson with a call. 2-2 for Springer.
Bat starts. Hands ahead of barrel. Easy call.
Vince Velasquez started for the Phillies, giving up 5 hits, 5 runs, 2 of them earned in 4 1/3 innings.
After punching out 16 last time out in a CG.
Yeah, that was an incredible game. Big cut there for Springer.
Ooh, I love the swings George is bringing right now. Gets the high fastball. This one over a little bit of plate, and there's some new fresh air in this yard right now.
There's fresh air here tonight, isn't it? 3-2. Delightful night.
Ideal.
In fact, now you and Blummer are in for probably some really hot nights in this ballpark for the rest of the year, right? This might be the best night.
Oh, you're backing out of this whole thing. Huh? That's not like you at all, Brownie.
Right. Strike 3. 5th strikeout for Holland.
Did you guys notice the double play grounded into by Prince Fielder in that 5-6-3 double play? Watch the slide. This is the way you do it these days. You just stay at the bag and you don't tear anybody apart. Carlos Correa otherwise could have been hit by, well, I'd hate to even think of Hal McRae or some of the slides in the past that we've seen coming in on that play. He was very vulnerable.
Correa's 1 for 2. That was foul outside the right field line and way out there. That wasn't foul by much, was it?
Wait a minute.
That really carried.
I'm not so sure. I need to see that one again, watching the fans that caught that ball.
Well, it was shocking how far it carried. But yeah, it wasn't fouled by a whole lot. Inside target, the pitch is there, and it's 0-2.
Holland has that edge on the right-hand hitters. Man, that previous foul ball was one you don't see often.
No, it was really a screamer to right. Yeah, that slide by Mazzara is the new slide brought about by the Chase Utley rule.
Also didn't feel like Mazzara was all out in his first few strides. To me, that wouldn't set well.
Foul ball back, keeps the count at 0-2. Yeah, it's just so difficult to deal with these new rules now regarding sliding into second base.
Look, we don't go by the bag, and we don't go after guys one side or the other. But you still go in hard, right, trying to break up the double play.
Right. First baseman Moreland goes for it into foul ground. Out of play for him. Yeah, you could come in hard and even pop up.
Yep.
But not continue past the base and be unable to reach it.
Maintain that bag. To me, that was the extreme of the current don't go in and hurt anybody kind of a slide. And I don't know. I can imagine Jeff Bannister, the skipper of the Rangers, saying, hey, look, we've kind of turned the page here, but not that far.
True. One and two. They are scoreless in the top of the 9th at Fenway. Tampa Bay and Boston. Tampa Bay has 3 hits. Boston has 1 hit. Drew Smyly is handcuffing the Red Sox. 2-8. Out into center field. DeShields makes it a 1-2-3. 5th for Holland. 4-2 Texas.
Bottom of the 5th. And it's time to name that Astro, brought to you by your local Honda dealer. Here are your clues. That U2 one just gave it away, didn't it?
It did. Pretty much.
Guys, you know who this is. Everyone knows who this is according to Twitter. It's the Hall of Famer. Number 7.
Ball player.
4-2 Texas. Beltre the batter. He's 1 for 2. Slow curve, strike 1 from Scott Feldman. Yeah, we can't fool them, Julia, despite your devious methods with your question. But they expect that. They want a challenge. 1-1. We'd also like to thank the people who have sent some Twitter messages about that that special T-shirt. We got the Fighting Artichokes. Correa. Out number 1 on Beltre. Now Moreland comes up. Now the Fighting Artichokes.
It's actually a hard one for me to image.
Mitch Moreland singled in the 1st inning and grounded out in the 3rd. Very nice green and gold logo sent to us by Tim Tooley. Thanks, Tim, for the Fighting Artichoke logo from Scottsdale Community College. We get a T-shirt sent from Randy Cunningham, also a picture of that. Strike.
This game had a chance to come apart in the first couple of innings, but Scott Feldman has settled in, and this obviously helps his club. It helps that bullpen a great deal.
It's really important in that sense. Ground ball to first. White. 2 outs. And thanks to Jared Hoffert, who sent us the there you see Josh Fields in the bullpen. The College Division II nickname, Delta State Fighting Okra.
Oh, what a clash that would be between those two clubs.
So yeah, it would be a battle of the vegetables, right? And that could be interesting. The Vegetable Bowl or something like that. Ian Desmond is the batter. Desmond 2 for 2 with an RBI. Who could have imagined some of these nicknames all these years, and we never knew, Ash.
Battle of the angry vegetables.
Big cut by Desmond. And there's strike 1.
Somebody says the color of the artichokes are pink and lace.
Cutter drops in over the corner, and it's no balls, 2 strikes for Feldman. And you're right, what he's done is so important to this club tonight, staying in for 94 pitches after being rocked. 8 batters facing him in the 3-run first. 1-2.
You know, you let that come unglued first couple of innings. Somebody sucks it up out in the bullpen, maybe a couple of somebodies. And before you know it, another somebody's being summoned from the minor leagues to come and pick things up for a while.
Yeah. Desmond looks at strike 3, and Feldman seems to be gaining some steam here in the middle innings. He keeps the score 4-2 Rangers through 5. Houston Astros baseball on Root Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Toyota, let's go places. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors, donating $100 for each Astros home run and $200 for each Correa home run to Houston Children's Charity. Here at Globe Life Park, it's 4-2. The Rangers lead it after 5, and they're going to their bullpen. Bringing in right-hander Tony Barnett. Astros fans hoping they can get something going here. They got 2 runs in the second inning. Barnett 0-1 with a .360 ERA in 5 games as a rookie. He made his debut April 5th against Seattle, and he is 32 years old. Tyler White looks at a slider. White is 0 for 2 in this game. Barnett was drafted by Arizona in the 10th round in 06, then released by the Diamondbacks in 2010. He went to Japan, and he'd been there for the last 5 years, 6 years actually, with the Yakult club. Ripped on a line to left field, and that's foul. 1 ball, 1 strike, and just returned to the States as a free agent. Joining the Rangers in December, now finds himself getting his first major league time in here in April.
You mentioned that he's from Anchorage, Alaska. He's kind of danced all over the globe.
He has. That had some serious hook on it, Ash.
And also almost had a thrown glove on it from Adrian Beltre as he bluffed. He wasn't going to do it, but
he has that Japanese style hesitation, Ash.
Yes, sir. I'll bet that was picked up while pitching in Japan.
Kind of the double leg kick.
That little bit of balancing act that kind of, I guess, is to set a guy up to make sure he doesn't rush.
That requires some balance. 2-2 to White. Rays and Red Sox are scoreless now in the top of the 10th.
I was watching that delivery, thinking I could hear Vin Scully saying Hideo Nomo.
White fouls it back. Well, one of the most remarkable games ever at Coors Field was pitched by Hideo Nomo. A no-hitter on Muddy night. Check out that balance, though.
That is.
And Nomo, because of the muddy mound that night at Coors Field, worked from the stretch even with nobody on.
We talked about Nomo recently. I think we said that he hit a couple of major league home runs on top of all the pitching exploits.
True. Now 3-2, and Tyler White's had a look at 5 pitches. It's his second full count of the night.
All you had to do was mention the muddy mound at Coors, and Barnett started staring at the hill.
White fouls it. This Texas bullpen is 2-5 with a 5.77 ERA. Had a terrible start to the season in the first 4 games. Derek Holland in 5 innings tonight threw 105 pitches, 66 for strikes. 5 innings for Holland, 5 hits, 2 runs allowed, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. White fouls it. Kevin Kiermaier hit his first homer in the top of the 10th for Tampa Bay to give them a 1-0 lead over Boston. Out to right center field, a long run here for DeShields. He's there, and it pops out of his glove and off the wall. Here's Mazzara throwing it in, and White winds up at second base. So DeShields, leaving his feet, leaped up in the air, couldn't hold it, then it caromed off the wall, and Mazzara picked it up.
There have been some balls hit really well tonight that have gone for nothing. The Astros get a couple of bases out of this, but I'm not so sure that Tyler White's going to get any credit in terms of the batting average.
He glanced at the wall, didn't he?
He sure did. That last instant, and as an outfielder, you want to shy away from any of that thought of the wall too early.
That's ruled a double for White. His 4th double. Evan Gattis is 1 for 2. And that's strike 1. And a chance to spark something for the Astros here, getting the potential tying run to the plate with nobody out in the inning. Gattis punches one up the right field line, and that will slice foul. Good catch.
And now a peek at our Lexus defensive rankings as we take a look at Delano DeShields in center field. You got some outfielders for the Texas Rangers who can be run on. There's no question about it. Ian Desmond, as of right now, a guy that has spent his career as an infielder. Word is go ahead and run on him. The other guys have the yellow light right now. Delano DeShields has the question mark of going up against the wall for the moment.
Gattis puts one in the air out to center. White will tag. DeShields in for the catch, and he'll keep him at second with a long, strong throw to third. Very well done by DeShields to position his body and then get something on that throw.
Good timing, Brownie, to take a peek at that arm of Delano DeShields. And he brought a good throw. It's not one of those arms that would make you say, well, we just simply can't run on this guy.
So if you get the yellow light on a guy and you're not a fast runner at second, does that mean you don't go?
On that depth, I would say absolutely. To me, what those lights are really talking about is that coin flip call for the third base coach. Runners coming around the bag, do you send them or not? And if you've got the 2 out scenario, you're always going to try to play to the aggressive side. 1 out, DeShields, Mazzaro, you might challenge at least one time to find out what you can get out of these guys.
Right. Now, technically, in terms of traffic standards, if we get a yellow light, that doesn't mean go, does it? In baseball, it's a little different, though.
Well, you did say under general circumstances, because, you know, I've known some people to go the other way with that.
True. You might have known a few 100,000 of them. Gomez is 1 for 2 with an RBI. Well, our hearts go out to all the people who have been affected by this flooding in Houston and other areas. It's been a tough couple of days. We hope you can at least get some enjoyment from Astros baseball.
So many people, Brownie, and of course one of our own, Paul Bykowski. And Paul, we wish you the very best, as well as everybody else.
And Paul's tending to business back in Houston. And yeah, just a very difficult time. So many people displaced. There were some rescues, a lot of rescues, in fact, the last couple of days. Doug Brocail with his starter going 5, watching Barnett. And the Astros hope that they can create another bullpen move here with some offense in the 6th inning. Pick off at second. White was wise to that. Yeah, there have been some coaching changes here since last year for Jeff Bannister's staff. Mike Maddox was the pitching coach. He's moved on to Washington. Dave Magadan was the hitting coach. Spike Owen is the current third base coach, just filling in for a few days. On the corner for a strike to Gomez to even the count at 1-1.
Just a hunch. I think Mike Maddox is going to like Bryce Harper. Not so much as a pitcher, but a pitcher's best friend.
Yeah. He'll make some plays in the outfield, too. Throw out some people. Alex Claudio is warming up, possibly to face Jason Castro. Out into center field. DeShields going for this one. On the run. He sticks it. 2 outs. it'll be Marwin Gonzalez.
Third baseman Marwin Gonzalez.
Marwin was 1 for 2, batting right-handed. Now he turns around to give it a go against Barnett. He's 2 for 13 as a left-handed hitter in the early days of the season. White Sox lead the Angels 2-0. They're in the middle of the 7th inning now in Chicago at U.S. Cellular. Matt Lato started. Cod Frazier hit his 3rd homer. Jose Abreu also belting number 3 against Matt Shoemaker. Astros on deck. In for strike 1.
See Marwin now on the left side, not the pure power stroke like he possesses on the right side, but shorten up a little on the bat, quick stroke, and he'll produce some power. And he has good reasoning to say that that pitch was not in the strike zone.
That was not. 1-1.
I wonder if that might not have been closer than the other.
Tony Barnett made his big league debut at age 32, 148 days, 2nd oldest in Rangers history to make his major league debut.
All that work spent in the minor leagues.
Tapped up the line. Moreland with the toss to Barnett. No runs, 1 hit. Runner stranded at second base. 4-2 Texas in the 6th.
It's 4-2 Rangers. Become a 2016 Coca-Cola Astros Buddies member for $25. Get a voucher for 4 tickets to a select Astros game. Front of the line access to Kids Run the Bases, autograph sessions, and more. Visit Astros.com/buddies to purchase a membership for kids up to 12 years old. That means you guys up in the booth are not allowed.
Oh, shucks. Mom. Josh Fields is in the game. No decisions, an 8.53 ERA. And last year he pitched 7 times against Texas with a 3.24 ERA.
Bringing that good fastball. He's had the breaking ball working pretty well. Has a changeup, doesn't throw it often.
Rougned Odor will begin the bottom of the 6th inning. He's 1 for 2, an RBI single. Scott Feldman went 5 innings, allowing 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, walking 3, fanning 1, throwing 96 pitches, 58 for strikes. The shift is on and the pitch is in for ball 1. So both clubs go to their bullpens in inning number 6. Feldman threw 96 pitches. Holland threw 105. in 5. Fastball tied him up. 1-1. Josh has a nice crisp fastball.
Yeah, he can run it up there over 95 on the good nights. That heater at 93 tells you, I mean, as well as he's able to run it up there. Fields, Holland was doing the same thing throughout his 5 innings.
Odor takes the off-speed offering, and that makes it 2-1. Fields has struck out 8 in his 6 1/3 innings. And since the beginning of last year, he's 5th in strikeouts among American League relievers per 9 innings. 11.84 per 9. Good fastball there, works. And it's 2-2.
And a little bit similar to Mike Fiers, that over the top delivery, a little arch of the back, and you get a deceptive appearance on that heater.
Curve is fouled. Only 3 Astro relievers have a better strikeout per 9 inning ratio for their career than Josh Fields. Brad Lidge, Billy Wagner, and Octavio Dotel. And it was amazing that all 3 of those guys were in the same bullpen at one point.
That should be illegal.
Ripped, and it hooks foul. Odor was right on that pitch.
Little guy, some big thump.
He does. He has good power for his size, especially. Rangers sent him down to the minors for a while last year, and he returned on a mission. He's out in front of that one, and loops it foul. Looks like he's quick enough that it's hard to break his bat on those inside fastballs, Ash.
Sometimes you get jammed so much it's actually too far into to break the bat, and I'm not so sure that wasn't the case right there.
Might have been.
Fields probably mad. I'm going to get this bat whether he wants me to or not.
Andrus and Nicholas are due to follow here in the Rangers' 6th. Lined over shortstop into left center field. Odor really battled to get his 2nd hit of the night.
You know what else he does? He hustles it out well. He forces outfielders to get the ball back in properly, or gives the appearance anyway that he might take an extra 90.
Did take the big turn. A.J. Hinch with signs. Elvis Andrus the batter. In a liner that was knocked down by Feldman, who threw him out in the 1st and then put down a sac bunt in the 3rd inning. Odor draws the throw. He stole 2nd in the 1st inning. 7 hits for the Rangers, 6 for the Astros. Each club has left 5. Houston has the only error in the game. And the throw makes it a pretty close play there. Rangers coming into this game had 5 steals in 10 tries. Not anything a major league club is happy with. The Brewers beat the Twins today 6-5 in Minnesota. Another throw.
That's a quick release that Fields now has. Unlike his pitching delivery, which is nice and long and fluid, he's very quick, like an NFL quarterback trying to release that quick screen pass.
Yeah, that can be a rather intimidating thing. Quarterback allows the 6'7" defensive lineman to get on top of him before he releases it. Deep drive to left field. Home run trot by Andrews. And it's not a home run. Here's the throw back in. And the relay is not made. Correa couldn't hang on to it. He had a shot at Odor at the plate, but Odor scored when the ball was dropped to make it 5-2 on the double by Andrews.
Yeah, don't put that one on Correa much. And Correa, I agree with you, had a shot at the plate. But the throw in from Jake Marisnick caught Correa with a little short hop. And he simply didn't come up with it cleanly. Let's watch what this throw does. Well, it wasn't the shortest of hops. Maybe a shot to get the out at the plate there, but I'm sure Carlos would tell you he would have preferred that throw to the chest.
Yeah, might have skidded on him a little bit.
It's a second ball tonight. One, the other a ground ball that just simply clanked out of the glove.
Brett Nicholas is 0 for 1 with a walk, and curveball's in for a strike. Single by Odor, RBI double by Andrews. Andrews now has a 6-game hitting streak, and that's his 8th run batted in. Rangers have 8 hits. DeShields is on deck. Fastball fouled away. 0-2. Josh Fields in his first outing in Yankee Stadium. You see Chris Davinsky working again. Gave up 3 runs in an inning and a third. And then in his next outing at Milwaukee, he gave up a 2-run homer to Ryan Braun. So 5 earned runs in his first 2 1/3 innings. Then he had a couple of scoreless performances, and last time out gave up a run in 1 inning against Detroit. Over first base into shallow right field. Andrews coming home to score. Here's the throw from Springer to second. Not in time there, and it's 6-2. RBI single for Nicholas, or make it a double as he hustled it. And Andrews trotted home with run number 6.
These are punishing runs right now. The Astros offense already has had its struggles with men in scoring position, and now much more work to be done. Right on the hands. This doesn't matter. You got to find a spot to hit it where nobody's playing.
DeShields is 0 for 2 with a sac bunt. Around a bunt, and he pushes that one, but it's late. Foul for strike 1.
Boy, if that doesn't speak to how much each run can mean to a ball club. The Rangers trying to add 1 more as they bunt.
Yeah, we often think of that sacrifice in situations in the late innings of maybe a tie game, but it's a way here to think of boosting that lead from 4 to 5 runs. Bunted, and it will trickle and stay on the line, and it will be a bunt single. DeShields with a bunt hit makes it 1st and 3rd, advancing Nicholas.
You don't see many fields that'll hold this true. Watch this ball get on the dirt next to the chalk, and then on the chalk and just ride it out.
A.J. Hinch is out after 4 straight hits off Fields to make a pitching change. 6-2 Texas here in the 6th inning with nobody out. Chris Davinsky in.
Rangers out in front. It's time to reveal our winner in the Chevy Stroh poll tonight. We asked you which Astros at bat keeps you glued to your seat. Let's see who the winner is. Carlos Correa wins over Altuve, Rasmus, and Springer. But I bet they enjoy watching all those guys. Brownie, new pitcher for the Astros.
Chris Davinsky, as you know, Julia, and he has looked good in his early games as a major leaguer. 3 games, an ERA of 0. Just 2 hits allowed in 5 1/3 innings. 1 walk, 8 strikeouts. He came in the Brett Myers trade from the White Sox in 2012. He pitched Wednesday and Thursday against Kansas City. And now he inherits runners at first and third. Nobody out in a 6-2 game facing Mazzara. Mazzara is 0 for 1 with 2 walks. Double play depth. The runner takes off for second, and it's foul for strike 1. Shields wasted no time in setting sail for second base.
Got a good jump in the process. We've seen a lot from Chris Davinsky. He's shown that he can, well, he's got a really good arm, a surprisingly good fastball. Great changeup to go with it, and the rest of the pitches. But might need to work on this game of cutting down the running availability for the opposition.
Nicholas at third. Shields at first. Runner going again. Ground ball rolls foul. 0-2, and DeShields will once again return to first.
It's not a high leg kick, but it's a bit of a deliberate leg kick, and it enables a guy like DeShields a great chance to get a jump.
Davinsky was an all-star for Corpus Christi, going 7-4 last year with a 3.01 ERA. Has had excellent control. The changeup has been a terrific pitch for him. But we've seen his fastball in the mid-90s as well in these relief occasions. And as a starter, apparently he didn't throw quite as hard on the fastball. Shields was leaning a little bit, but that's typical, Ash, and yet it's been a very pleasant surprise for the Astros to look at Davinsky in relief.
Quite frankly, the way he's pitched to this point, limited action, but you could utilize him very easily late in a ball game, close game.
That's close. Shields diving back in.
Just my eye says DeShields took a little weight off after a couple of years ago when we saw him in spring training. Looked like he had become kind of beefed up, sturdy guy, but looks like the runner again.
DeShields had 25 steals in 33 tries last year. And the throw to first makes another close play for Tyler White. Mazzara hit a homer in his first major league at bat. A.J. Hinch might be, well, sometimes they wait for word from the video room on whether to ask for a replay review. Didn't look like it was that close at first.
I was thinking with a left-handed first baseman might have been very close.
Might have. DeShields is leaning again. Oh, say, he's got his weight on the right foot there, Ash.
He does, and he also pre-opens the shoulders. It looks like he's basically saying, I'm going and there's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
But that pickoff throw, the last 2 made it close on him. See how the shoulders are open, little flinch. I think AJ thinks that was closer than just close.
Well, the umpires are going to take a look in New York and let this crew on the field know what they see on that play at first base. And there have been a few close ones here. Davinsky's making on target throws to first.
Well, he put those last couple right in there where Tyler White could glove it and basically lay the glove on the Shields. You know what? It's tough to tell when a glove actually makes contact, but if eyes don't deceive, that may get an out call.
It's probably worth a shot considering the game situation here for AJ.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think that sometimes you get to that do or die point, or at least you feel that way in the dugout.
He looked more out from that angle. Still really close. So it's being reviewed in New York, and umpires on the field will get the word on what the call is. Bill Welke is the crew chief here. He's the second base umpire. And Marvin Hudson, facing the camera, is the guy who made the call. Ooh.
Well, that's an out. If they don't call that an out, somebody didn't see that review right there, that shot.
That's the key angle. You're right. Yep. With the close up, the magnification really provides an opportunity to tell.
Watch the hand. Tag, hand coming, still room to go. Yeah, it has to keep coming.
He's out. The call is overturned. The Shields is picked off from 1 to 3 for out number 1.
It's a really good job by the guys up in the clubhouse, because you've got to come up with that quickly and get it sent down to the dugout.
And AJ was waiting on the throw before that. So thinking all along, hey, this is close at first. Now the infield is in. Runner at third, 1 out and an 0-2 count. Ground ball. Altuve checks the runner, takes care of out number 2. And that could be a really important call if the Astros are able to get some offense going.
And yes, the Rangers have already put a couple runs on the board in the inning, but in the endeavor to steal second base, they were clearly saying we want to tack on 2 more in this frame.
Prince Fielder has a 2-run homer in 3 at-bats. Correa, who was overshifted, is going to move back around to the third base side of second. And that's ball 1 on the changeup from Davinsky. So 82 on the changeup, and his fastball, when we look, is mid-90s usually, 93, 94, 95-ish.
You mentioned that out of the bullpen, he has that ability to crank it up, probably more than he could as a starter, but it's impressive.
Foul back. In this case, he's warmed up quite a bit tonight before coming into this game. A couple of different times at least.
I think that's one of the things you try to learn about a new pitcher is how many nights in a row can you run him out there? How quickly can he get loose for you? What does he look like against righties and against lefties? Can he get the strikeout when you need that?
Well, he got a swing there on a changeup that was not a good looking swing for Mr. Fielder.
That changeup has been near unhittable to this point. It's about arm speed. A grip you can trust, and he has one, and then provide arm speed.
It's the circle of death, Ash.
That's what it is. He is the dragon, and he has the circle of death.
Ooh. Fielder had seen it the previous pitch and laid off that time. 2-2.
Still didn't look all that comfy.
No. Keone Kela is in the bullpen for Texas. Davinsky shaking off that Castro sign. Davinsky throws a curve and a slider as well as his fastball and changeup. It's been primarily the fastball changeup in relief. In the air, and the center fielder Gomez takes care of it. Well, that challenge at first base was a key by A.J. Hinch. It got the Astros a call. They got out of the inning. 6-2 Rangers after a 2-run 6th.
through 6, 6-2 is the score. Academy Sports and Outdoors and the Houston Astros are hitting home runs for Houston. Home runs for the Houston Astros, active players against the Texas Rangers. Jason Castro at the top of the list. He has slammed 7 long balls. Carlos Correa already in less than a year, 4, and Luis Valbuena not in the lineup tonight, also 4 home runs. And that long ball swing is much needed right about now.
Rangers with pitcher number 3 coming in the game. Call on right-hander Keone Kela. He's had multiple strikeouts in 4 games in a row and pitched well against the Astros last season. Kela is 23 years old, just turned 23, from Los Angeles, facing Castro. And throwing ball 1. Jason grounded back to the pitcher and he walked. Barnett in 1 inning allowed 1 hit, no runs, had no walks, no strikeouts. That's another ball, and it's 2-0 to Castro. Kela picked up a win Saturday on his 23rd birthday, beating Baltimore. Last year, the Rangers used him 68 times. 7-5 with a 2.39 ERA. He throws a strike to make it 2-1. Kela was a 12th round draft choice in 2012. Worked his way through the Rangers system, arriving last year with 18 walks and 68 strikeouts in 60 innings. That's out of play. It's 2-2. Now the Astros could not really solve Kela last year with that ERA he had against them of 0. He won 2 games. Preston Tucker's in the on-deck circle with Jake Marisnick scheduled up next. Now it's a full count. The Astros have worked some counts well tonight. And a foul tip strikeout starts the inning for Kela.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please for Houston number 20, Preston Tucker. Batting for Jake Marisnick.
Now Preston Tucker is announced as the pinch hitter for Jake Marisnick. Preston hitting .269, has 2 homers, 3 runs batted in. He's had 26 at bats with 7 hits. 3 of them have been doubles, so 5 of his 7 hits for Preston have been for extra bases. He's 0 for 2 pinch hitting. Had a couple of pinch hit homers last season. Altuve's on deck. Strike. Marisnick was 0 for 2. Odor is out in shallow right field. Tucker was 1 for 4 in the Detroit series. He DH'd Saturday night. Powers one to center field. The shield's way back underneath it. 2 outs.
Tucker saw that curveball well, but picked out the wrong part of the park.
Jose Altuve is next. Altuve 0 for 3 tonight. Steven Strasburg through 8 shutout innings today, striking out 10 to beat Miami. And Strasburg is 3-0 for Washington. Washington is 10-3. 7-0 win for Washington at Miami.
They get that kind of pitching with that offense they can supply. They might turn into the team they were predicted to be the last couple of seasons.
So somebody might be saying at the end of the year, you are what we thought you were.
There you go. Yeah. Could be like a head coach or something.
2-0. Yeah, the Nationals with their club really should be powerful this year if they can get everything in sync and keep people healthy. Daniel Murphy's hitting .422 for them this season. Altuve takes, it's a strike. 2-1 to Jose. Cleveland beat Seattle today 3-2 in Cleveland. Astros will be visiting Seattle on the next road trip. Seattle and Oakland. Interesting to see what Scott Service has on his hands. Another former Astro catcher managing. We just saw Brad Ausmus. And Scott Service at one point worked in the Ranger organization. He hired Casey Candell at that point as a minor league coach, and now Casey Candell's his first base coach.
Yes, Scott's got a great presence about him and a bright baseball guy.
He was a good catcher. About the Darryl Kyle no-hitter. Carlos Carrasco was the winner for Cleveland over Seattle today, and Wade Miley took the loss. George Springer's on deck. Altuve with a deep drive to left field makes another bid for a homer, and he gets it. Jose Altuve hits number 5. That's 9 runs batted in for Altuve, and the Astros trail 6-3 as he goes deep in Arlington.
Yeah, the numbers say he slams the lefties around, but give me the right-hander. I'll take him out of the yard.
Wow. His 4th career homer against the Rangers.
Nothing cheap at all right here either. And there's been nothing cheap in his home runs this year.
And Altuve leads the club in long balls.
You know, all 5 against right-hand pitching this season.
It's been quite an amazing start for the little second sacker. Hit 15 homers last year for his career high. He has 5 in the club's first 14 games. Strike to George Springer.
Go ahead and throw another one on the board.
Carlos Correa's on deck. Springer takes it. 1-1.
Does it feel at times like Altuve's underappreciated? Yeah, we know how good he is, but you know, he is a heck of a major league hitter.
Foul back. 1-2. Well, now after winning a batting title 2 years ago, seems to have added power to the equation.
He's a Gold Glover. He's performed well. He's a 2-time base stealing champ. Guy plays this game.
What can't he do?
We haven't seen him pitch well, but aside from that, he's been really good.
Springer takes it. 2-2. That's the 23rd long ball the Rangers have surrendered this year. The Astros get their 20th home run. They are second in the American League, as Ash mentioned earlier, to Baltimore. Springer takes, and it's ball 3.
I think one thing, I'm sure the Astros have talked about it, but this bullpen is susceptible for the Rangers. Worst ERA in the league right now as a group.
So Springer gets on to prolong the inning with 2 outs. The number 3 hitter comes up, Correa. George powers one to center field. The Shields way back, turning at the wall, leaping, and George Springer goes into the trot. This is back-to-back long balls. Springer hits number 4, and that's 3 in 3 games for George Springer. It's 6-4.
Keep in mind, Preston Tucker just missed one to start the inning. Yeah, he's getting it hot. This is the way this guy can play. And this ball was awfully close to being caught, but you hit up against that wall and it impedes the leap.
The Astros go back-to-back again this season, and that prompts a visit to the mound by Doug Brocail. That's the 3rd time the Astros have hit back-to-back homers.
So there's the tacking on of the extra run in the inning. Houston Methodist brings us our league leaders, and there's your bullpen ERAs. We were talking about Texas in the American League, dead last. Only the Colorado Rockies have a higher composite ERA for the bullpen. But all National League clubs, maybe surprisingly on that list, aside from Texas.
Carlos Correa looks at ball 1. Springer really ripping that one, and he has 2 extra base hits in this game. He doubled his first time up.
Feel it and believe it.
Kella misses in tight to Correa. That makes it 2-0 with Tyler White on deck. And the Astros have one of their patented 2-out rallies. 2 outs, nobody on, back-to-back homers.
Well, go ahead and add another.
In for ball 3. And now the crowd is getting restless. Sam Dyson is warming up. Astros hit 22 homers last year against Texas. And that's a strike. 3-1 to Correa.
I wouldn't have minded seeing the big swing on that pitch.
You might see it on this next one. You know he'll get something to hit here. No, he didn't. So that tells you that Kella simply cannot command that pitch, and he walks him. With White coming up representing the potential tying run. And that tells you it's time for Mr. Jeff Bannister to make a move after the back-to-back homers followed by a walk. Keller will be coming out, and Jake Diekman, the lefty, is also getting ready, but it'll be Dyson against White. The Astros come back. They trailed by 4. Now that's been cut in half to a 2-run deficit. It's Texas 6, Houston 4. Well, it is going to be the lefty Diekman. Interesting, as White will get. Now and see how the Astros are playing to win. Brought to you by Toyota Tundra. They're trying to come from behind win. Jose Altuve ripping a home run to left field to cut the margin to 6-3. That was a 3-2 pitch. Now 3-2 to George Springer. Goes over the center field wall. Just out of the leap of the Shields. Back-to-back homers for the Astros for the third time this season. They trailed 6-4 with a man on. Tyler White, the batter, against hard-throwing lefty Jake Diekman. And there's strike one.
And he can rush it up there. 94 on his first offering, but averaging over 96 miles an hour with the heater.
And just allowing 1 run in 9 career games against the Astros. Diekman coming in to try to snuff out this rally. White's 1 for 3, a double. 0-2 for Diekman. He has not pitched in the last 5 days. Last time he suffered his first loss as a Ranger Wednesday at Seattle on a walk-off homer to Dae-Ho Lee in the 10th inning on a couple of unearned runs. White battles and fouls it. Diekman has allowed just that one hit, the game-winning walk-off homer, and has retired 13 of 15 batters faced. Home run ended a scoreless streak of 10 2/3 innings over 14 regular season games beginning last September 12th. He gets a strikeout to end the Astros 7th inning. 2 runs, 2 hits. Altuve and Springer back to back close the gap. It's 6-4 Rangers in the 7th.
Astros trailing. Our delivery of the game is brought to you by Jimmy John's. The pickoff move by Chris Davinsky. Delano DeShields was at first base. The Rangers were trying to break this thing open. And then that pickoff with the review there results in a key out as Davinsky was able to get out of the inning. You see the infield drawn in. That was out number 2. And then a fly out to end the frame, so no more damage. And that pickoff the key to that 6th inning.
Now Davinsky stays in for the 7th. Adrian Beltre lead it off. He's 1 for 3. 6-4 Rangers. That's strike one. Tap to shortstop for Correa. 1 out.
First baseman, Mitch Moreland.
Mitch Moreland singled in the first inning when the Rangers got 3. He's 1 for 3. He's pulled the ball all 3 times tonight, and the Astros will set up, expecting him to do that again if he hits it on the ground. left on a line deep to right field over Springer's head. And that reaches the seats. A home run for Moreland, number 2. 7-4 Texas. Second Ranger home run of the night.
Yeah, the Astros get a couple of home runs, back-to-back jobs, and maybe get that feel of getting back in it, but this one left up and Moreland just hung it out.
Ball 1 to Desmond, who has 2 hits and RBI tonight. It's 11 hits for the Rangers to 8 for the Astros. Deep drive to center field. Way back, Gomez. Right in front of the wall. 2 outs.
No, he almost had another home run to look at, but there's that line shot home run by Moreland. Just getting out. George Springer didn't even have a chance to get back to the wall and get spectacular on us.
Rougned Odor has 2 hits tonight. Coming into this game, the Rangers had been out homered at home 18-2. In for strike 1.
Pretty good yacker right there for a starter.
Yeah. He's starting to mix in the breaking stuff.
He's got a nice pace to his pitching.
Really fast. Out into shallow center. That will be Carlos Correa making a circus catch in center field. An unbelievable play by Correa in center field. Over the shoulder, leaving his feet. He robs Odor. We go to the 8th inning. 7-4 Texas.
Join the Astros at Minute Maid Park this Saturday as they take on the Boston Red Sox. 10,000 fans will receive a Carlos Correa replica white jersey that's presented by Waste Management. For more information, visit Astros.com or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Get that Carlos Correa white jersey.
Put it on, take it home, go in the backyard, and make a sliding over the shoulder catch.
Try. Just try. See if you can pull that off.
Evan Gattis leads it off. Sam Dyson in the game for Texas. Breaking pitch, strike 1 to Gattis, who has a double in 3 trips. Tremendous play by Carlos Correa to close it out in the Rangers' 7th. Now here in the 8th, Gomez and Gonzalez to follow Gattis. It takes ball one. Let's look back at the Correa play.
Brownie, if this was made in a big circumstance, and of course timing can be everything, that would be remembered for a long, long time.
How could he see the ball?
I don't know. It was easy once it was in that glove and stationary.
He didn't even turn his head to look back, did he?
Really don't think so. You know, guys with these shifts on now are having to go make that play from different positions.
Liner to left, and here comes Desmond. Tremendous catch by Desmond in left field, robbing a hit from Gaddis.
We are seeing defense, long balls. It's been an intriguing game.
Well, the effort has certainly been there. Desmond has adapted well from shortstop to left field.
Yeah, he got the glove under it, didn't he?
He sure did. Ball was well hit. Carlos Gomez has a double in 3 tries. He had an RBI, his first of the season, on that double back in the 2nd inning. Fouling that when there's strike one.
It's an unusual thing that happens occasionally with Carlos. The left hand, the bottom hand, comes off the bat. And he maintains control with the right hand.
Sean Tollison is the closer for the Rangers. His ERA is 11.25. A breaking pitch fooled him. 0-2. And again, 2 outs.
It's not going to go down as high-end bat speed on that final swing.
Marwin Gonzalez doubled in a run in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 3. Elvis Andrus robbed him of another hit in the 4th. Dyson leads the Rangers in holds with 4. He can get a hold here, coming in a save situation and holding on to the lead. Astros did not score an earned run off Dyson last year in his 6 outings, covering 5 1/3 innings. Colby Rasmus is in the on-deck circle. Castro's due up next. One and one. The Astros have one come from behind win this season. In for a strike, 1-2. Struck him out, and that breaking ball is dynamic for Dyson. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 7-4 Rangers.
front of the Astros. We have seen George Springer make a lot of great catches in an Astros uniform. One of his best, though, might have come right here on April 12th of last season, robbing Leonys Martin of a grand slam to save the game. Here's George Springer with our Geico quote of the day.
Yeah, I don't really the only way I can really explain it was it got hit, and there's just something in your head that says, go get the ball. And as I started to run, I could tell that I was getting on it and I was getting closer, and it was hanging up. And you could get that bell in your head where you're kind of like, okay, here comes the track, here comes the wall, and then I was able to kind of see that it was starting to come down, and I just got to a spot where I thought I could, and I jumped, and it stuck in my glove.
May I say, only special players can even have a chance on a play like that.
Yeah, that was incredible last year. 2 balls and a strike to Elvis Andrus. There's an RBI double and a sac bunt tonight. Texas up by 3. Good changeup makes it 2-2 for Chris Davinsky, really helping things with his long relief outing tonight. It would be 2 2/3 innings if he worked the full 8th inning. Flicked into shallow left center field. That'll loop in for a hit. Single for Andrus.
A changeup leaves you the feeling that that's about the only way you can hit it. It's kind of a little splat job.
Brad Nicholas, the catcher, provided an RBI double in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. We talk about long relief. Well, 2 2/3 these days is long relief, the way the relievers are used. There was a game in Kansas City years ago. Scott Ellerton was thrown out in the 1st inning. Ron Vallone came in, and he pitched a whole bunch of innings in relief that day. Maybe 6, 7, something like that, Ash.
As I recall, Scott was thrown out of that ball game after hitting a hitter with a breaking ball, immediately ejected. Now, maybe I'm wrong. It could have been another game I'm thinking of. But it brings on that emergency panic in the bullpen. And yeah, Ron Vallone, what a great job he did, not only that day, but numerous days for the club.
Altuve, Correa, he guts it on to White. Beautiful double play.
Well, and only certain players have the kind of arm that Carlos Correa has to make a play like this work.
Tremendous arm.
Altuve sets him up beautifully. That ball to the left of a second baseman, not off on a double play, but over the top and hump. Apparently Tyler White called for the heater.
He got it. Delino DeShields has a bunt single tonight. Strike 1 to DeShields. Chris Davinsky, after that All-Star season at AA Corpus Christi, was called up during the postseason to work the AAA championship game for Fresno. He won that game with a spectacular effort. And then he was to have been the opening day pitcher for Fresno this year, but then the Astros made a change. They sent down Michael Feliz and called him up to Yankee Stadium instead of starting for Fresno. And he's doing everything he can to stay, Ash.
I can't see him leaving. Something unusual would have to happen, but I think he's made a mark for himself already.
Right there for strike 3. Chris Davinsky, 2 2/3 innings of relief. We go to the 9th inning, 7-4 Texas. Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Jack in the Box. Taste the Jumbo-licious Jumbo meal before it's gone. Only at Jack in the Box. And it'll be gone just like that bacon on a stick when Julia Morales is around it.
Look down at Julia's chair right now. It's empty. I wonder how that happened.
Sean Tollison has yet to issue a walk or hit a batter in 6 games. 35 saves last year. And he's pitched well in his career against the Astros. He is pitcher number 6 of the night for Jeff Bannister.
So obviously tough assignment right now as Colby Rasmus tries to get something going.
Colby is the pinch hitter for Jason Castro. Rasmus has a .282 average, 3 homers, 8 runs batted in. He's had 39 at bats, 0 for 1 pinch hitting. Tollison misses upstairs, ball 1 after a 1-2-3 eighth by Dyson, who struck out 2. And correction, I said Davinsky went 2 2/3. It was a 3-inning stint because he picked off DeShields as a part of his outing. Make it 3 innings in relief. So the Astros have used 3 pitchers. The Rangers using number 6, and he falls behind 2-0 on Rasmus. Now 3 balls, no strikes. Rangers with a 3-run lead. With Preston Tucker on deck, the Astros hope to make it very interesting here in the 9th. 24,181 the paid attendance. Tollison's pitched only twice in the last 9 days. And there's a 4-pitch walk to get it going. We go to the lady who's an expert on all things here in Arlington, Texas.
All things.
Julia Morales.
Right now, I'm going to tell everyone to make memories at an Astros Sunday home game with family-friendly activities presented by Kroger. The first family Sunday of the season is this Sunday against the Red Sox. For more info, visit astros.com/Sundays or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
And remember, that's a night game now.
That's
on
right.
Sunday with the Red Sox in town. Preston Tucker came up as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning, hit a fly ball to center field.
That night game sets up for a nice plane ride on to Seattle that evening.
Yeah. There's ball 1 now, 5 straight balls, and that prompts a visit from Nicholas to Tollison. Tollison moved right in and did that excellent job last year as the closer. 35 saves and 37 opportunities. He's a native of Dallas who went to Baylor University. The Dodgers drafted him in the 30th round in 2010. He was a waiver claim by Texas after the 2013 season.
And like all pitchers, he loves having a couple of guys come to the mound and remind him you need to throw strikes.
He did throw one, and it was a quality pitch. 1-1. Tollison had some rough outings earlier, but his ERA has been coming down. 3 scoreless innings the last 3 games. Tucker fouls it. 1-2. Rangers are trying to pull 3 games ahead of the Astros in the early going in the AL West. They had a 1-game lead over the Angels and Oakland when play began today. Rangers the only club above 500 in the AL West. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This year, Tollison has 3 saves in 4 tries. And all 3 of his saves are in games started by Cole Hamels, tomorrow night's starter. Rasmus takes off, big jump. Here's the throw, not nearly in time. In fact, he didn't need to slide. The pitch is ball 3, and it's an easy steal for Rasmus.
I'm asking myself, did Colby think that was ball 4, the way he went in standing? Really good jump, but just kind of shutting her down and then looking back like Wait a minute, what's going on here?
First stolen base for Colby. Tucker lines one to center. Here's DeShields with the catch. Rasmus will advance on out number 1.
Yeah, that's just hitting him tough luck. And it's not a rare out hit into by Preston Tucker this season. He's hit some balls really hard for outs.
Second baseman Jose Altuve.
Shields was there to catch that one. Now Altuve comes up. Here's what happened in the 7th inning when he worked the count to 3-2.
He got the pitch he likes down around his ankle. No doubt about it, shot. He lives by that motto of make sure you get something good to handle.
He's 1 for 4. He's also lined out to left. He hit a hard grounder to third. Beltre threw him out in the 2nd inning. Tollefson with ball 1. Tollefson was with the Dodgers 2012 and 13, and he moved into the Texas scene in 2014 and made 64 appearances with excellent numbers. Last year got a shot at closing. 1 ball, 1 strike, and he's not looking back the way he pitched last year. He walked just 17 in 72 innings last season and had 76 whiffs along the way. George Springer's on deck. Altuve grounds, backhanded. Andrus, low throw. Moreland saves him as the run scores. 7-5, but that's out number 2, and Moreland made the key play.
Altuve gave it everything he had going down the line. But Andrus, a little bit like Correa, we were talking about, that really good shortstop arm.
That's 2 runs batted in for Altuve tonight, giving him 10. Now Ranger fans get up. George Springer, the batter. He has a double and a homer. Strike 1. Carlos Correa's on deck. Rangers about hit the Astros 12-8. Each club leaving 6. One and 1. Derek Holland's 2nd win is a possibility. That floats up there, and it's 1 and 2, 82 miles per hour. Holland watching from the bench with a smile. Rangers are trying to make it 7 wins in the last 10 games. And 8 straight over the Astros here at Globe Life Stadium. In the dirt, and he checked it. 2-2 to George Springer. Astros are trying to avoid a 5-9 start to the season.
Wasn't too many days ago, it looked like George Springer was having a really tough time picking up the baseball, but not right now. He's getting great swings.
A strikeout ends it for the Rangers. They beat the Astros 7-5, giving Derek Holland a 2-0 start to the season. Scott Feldman takes the loss. He is 0-2. The Rangers capture the first of 19 meetings between the two. Prince Fielder with a 2-run first inning homer to get them going. And they complete a 7-5 win over the Astros tonight.